Ever since the Ludendorff Cemetery Survival was added to GTA Online, I've been admittedly trying to find a way to get outside the cemetery whenever there's an opportunity. Usually like just leaving one mage alive after I've killed the rest of the zombies, running around the cemetery trying to bounce over the fence to no avail. I almost gave up, but hope always finds a way. So Tez retweeted some posts from Classic in which he used a Deluxo to somehow get up into North Yankton. And by the way, I'll link his account below in the description section, along with the playlist on how you can also get into North Yankton. And I'm going to show you how to do it in just a minute. And we'll go exploring what little bit of North Yankton that we're able to in GTA Online. Once again, for probably a very limited amount of time. So you have a very small window to do this. For the first time in GTA Online's history, you can legitimately set foot on solid ground in the quote-unquote new North Yankton Ludendorff map. However, despite what the pause menu tells you, it's not a finished map. It's even less detailed than that in the story mode of GTA 5. In fact, it's a watered-down version of the one from story mode, with the entire prologue pursuit missing to save resources. Only part of Ludendorff and the farm remains, as well as a few solid props, which we'll check out in just a few minutes. The Bobcat security building is also gone. So a lot of people were asking Classic, how did you get into North Yankton with your Deluxo? And, well, Classic responded Monday, if you wish to use the North Yankton as a photo opportunity for the PS5, I've created a race playlist that will bring you there. With snowy weather, GTA race is recommended. And of course, he linked to his playlist. It's called Gateway, and you have to like add it to your game. So make sure you log in online to your Rockstar Social Club account. Click on the link below in the description section and add this playlist to GTA Online. Once again, available for the PS5. I don't know if he's going to make a version for the Xbox Series X or the PC. Probably not. So unless you have a PS5, this may not work for you, unfortunately. Once you've added the playlist, link below in the description section, to your GTA 5 account on PS5, unfortunately not available on the other platforms, log into GTA Online, and then what you're going to want to do is go to Playlist. So go to Playlist, go to My Bookmark Playlists, and then you should see Gateway, which includes Ludendorff Cemetery Survival and Gateway. In order to get to Gateway, the race, we have to quickly do Ludendorff Survival first, because I think that it loads in the map of Ludendorff, and by loading it in, allows us to eventually explore the world. So you want to make sure, unless this is not really, this part doesn't matter, so you can just quickly get through this and just start it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly EWO in the Ludendorff Cemetery Survival in order to get to part 2 of this playlist, so we can get to the race, the fun part, what most of you are interested in, including myself. So I'm going to just take a grenade and just, I'm just going to blow myself up with a sticky bomb. Okay, so I can't do it till it starts. So wait till the first wave officially starts, then game end yourself so that you can like get out of the survival. All right, now that it's done, let's just throw down a grenade. All right. There, okay. So now we're dead. That's over. Survival failed, which means now we can move on from part 1 of the playlist to part 2, which is the Gateway race. So just click continue, and it'll lead us here. So make sure it's point-to-point GTA so that you can get out of the car. So I'm going to go with motorcycles. I did test it with Sports Classics, hoping I could use the Deluxo, but it wouldn't let me use the Deluxo. But I'm just going to switch to motorcycles. Motorcycles is probably the best option here because you'll be able to get around a little bit easier. There's not much to it, but I'll show it off to you in case you're interested. And I'm doing this intentionally step by step for anyone that wants to try it themselves. So yeah, I don't want to really use... Yeah, I'll just do that. It's North Yankton. It's cold. I want to be comfy. All right. So we'll use the body. That's fine. All right. So let's go. All right. So we're launching this. And basically this race that Classic created will lead you up into the already preloaded version of the North Yankton map. So it's not too difficult. It's not as complicated as trying to glitch across the San Luis River into Mexico in Red Dead Online and explore in Mexico to get to low-res Guarma or other parts of the map that we're not supposed to in Red Dead Online. It's a lot easier. But unfortunately, it's only available on PS5, and it's most likely only going to be available for a limited time unless Rockstar gets wind of this and puts the kibosh on it and like disables or destroys this playlist. So you may want to do it while you still have a chance. But at the very least, you can check out what we do get to see of Ludendorff, North Yankton via this video. So as you can tell, we're right underneath the map, but Classic planned for this by putting a ramp that will take us straight up into North Yankton. But while we're underneath it, we can look at some of the buildings of Ludendorff. So yeah, some of them are glitching in, and you're going to see a lot of copy pasta because I've already done a bit exploring myself in order to see what I could do and what I could not do in North Yankton. So here we are, the town of Ludendorff, a place a lot of us have often wanted to explore but haven't been able to. So whenever you're finished, you can just drive down to the finish line down there. Now, be wary. There are edges of the map that you cannot go. Like, obviously, you can't go beyond that. So just try and stay on solid ground. Now, we're going to drive down, I guess you could say, Main Street of Ludendorff really quick to show you how far you can go this way. But there's a way to go further into Ludendorff, but there's really not much special beyond this invisible wall I'm about to hit. Okay, so right here is an invisible wall. Yeah, you can't go any further right here. But I'll show you a different way to get around it. So you got the pawn store, you got Ludendorff locksmith, you also got the Pollock movie theater still showing water torture, and the other movie after all these years. Yeah, time just stood still here in Ludendorff. You got a bank. Well, no, that's the airways. Yeah, that's the airways. So you can't really go this way. This is a dead end right here. So it's not too much to explore, but there's a few things that we can check out. And because we have it set on GTA, we can actually get off the motorcycle. We'll do it in just a minute. So we're going to go back to the cemetery. I know a lot of you are familiar with the cemetery at this point because of the new survival mode, which I did do a review of, by the way. But I want to show you one key difference with the cemetery from the survival and even from when we encounter the cemetery again with Trevor and Michael. Now, spoilers when it comes to Bury the Hatchet from GTA 5. Brad is actually buried in the grave, not Michael Townley, a.k.a. Michael DeSanta. But in this version of the map, there's nothing in the grave. It's an empty grave. That's kind of creepy. But I just wanted to show you all that really, really quick. So if you want to run around this area during the daytime and not be chased by zombies or possessed animals, I guess this is a good opportunity to do so. But I just wanted to show you all the empty grave really quick before we continue with our adventures. Now, one good way to explore this limited area of North Yankton is the train track. And now, it also only goes a certain distance. So you can take the train track down here and just ride it this way. But you don't want to go too far because you'll fall off the map. But I think if you can respawn back on the map if you fall off the map. So you see a lot of, behind the curtain here. And you'll see some, like, copy pasta buildings. Yeah, it's not exactly what Rockstar wants to show you. But, yeah, very, very unfinished North Yankton. So, yeah, you see the Banner Motel building multiple times. And you'll see more of it in just a second when we go to the other side. But my advice is just use the rail track. And you can take it all the way down here. But just don't go too fast because you might accidentally fall off the rail track. Because it does eventually reach a dead end. And some of the ground isn't exactly safe to go on because you'll just fall through it. Similar to, certain parts outside the map in Red Dead Online. So this is like the very edge of the rail line. So it's a good warning. So just slow down here. The mountains, you can't go to the mountains, unfortunately. It's all very, very low res. Even by 2013 standards, it's low res. So that's pretty much as far as you can go on the rail line this way. But we will go this way, back to town. And there is actually some solid surface over here on the left side that we can ride around in. You see the hay bales. So we'll go past this building. And we can go over here, actually. But don't go too far out. So just I guess you could just say this: the hay bales are kind of like your safe space to let you know that you can actually ride around over here. And once again, I'd probably recommend a motorcycle for this because it's smaller, more maneuverable, and you can get around a lot easier than in a car. But I mean, there's not much to it. At the same time, it is kind of cool to explore Ludendorff, like, because it's very, very restrictive in the prologue as well as Bury the Hatchet. And here's what the back of the cemetery looks like at the moment. So this is what it looks like behind the gate and the fencing, in case you were curious. And it is unfortunate that this map is like even lower res and has even less in it than the original version of North Yankton, which is also unfinished. So you can actually take this path over here to the barn, and this is where like the final showdown of the prologue happens, where Brad gets shot, and well, Michael gets shot too, but not really, and Trevor flees off into the snow. So you got to be mindful of this. You see how you get kind of buried here, so don't go too far. But you can explore around the barn area where the shootout happens, where Trevor makes his stand against the North Yankton police. But once again, don't get buried in the snow like I just did. So you don't want to go that way. So just go around this way. And we can just get off the bike real quick and explore this part of the map. It is kind of cool because most of the time you're focused on just shooting at the cops and trying to make it to the end of the prologue. It's not that difficult. But so there's the barn. There's some other buildings here. Some other farm equipment, as you would expect on a farm. You got silos. You got the house here. And one thing I noticed whenever I came over here to this side of the house was a Christmas tree. So there's like a Christmas tree back here. So I guess it was around Christmas time when the robbery happened in the prologue. So you can like run around the back of the house and look at the attention to detail. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, some of it looks good in the front, but when you walk around to the back, you see unfinished stuff. Like the barn looks really good in the front, but if you walk around here behind the barn, you'll notice that, well, it's just a wall. Yeah, so that's the barn. That's the inside of the barn. There's nothing there. So yeah, this is the farm area, in case you are curious. And you can go explore yourself with the playlist. So we'll go back to the motorcycle, and then we can drive over to the Beaver real quick. The Beaver's not too far from here. And it's also on solid footing. The sad reality is a lot of the map is not solid footing. And in case you're curious, real quick, you can take the rail track down a little bit this way. But yeah, you don't get to go too far before you reach the very edge. So just be mindful of that. But all this right here I think is solid. So we'll just try to get into a gap around the fence. About here. And then we can go say hello to the Beaver, the mascot of Ludendorff. All right, and once again, the Bobcat security building is gone, so you can't explore that. So yeah, that's the big giant Beaver welcoming you to Ludendorff. So there's not much to that. Kind of cool though. And as you can tell, yeah, it's very, very low res. But yeah, this kind of breaks my heart a little because I know it was just a pipe dream, and most of us probably knew it was never going to happen, but we always wanted a hypothetical North Yankton expansion to GTA Online. But they needed to clearly finish North Yankton. But not only is this version of North Yankton unfinished, it's even worse off than the original version of North Yankton in order to save resources like Classic was talking about. So basically they had to load all this into the game, but they had to cut some stuff down in order for us to be able to do the zombie survival mode, this Halloween season. All right, so there's one more part I want to show you, and this is why I grabbed the motorcycle. As you may recall, a few minutes ago, we tried to go that way, but there was an invisible wall stopping us, well, from going that way. But thanks to my motorcycle, we can actually go this way. Now, you want to be careful. You want to go this way, see? You can do this on foot, but obviously it's going to take you a little bit longer to attempt this on foot. So that's why I decided to grab the motorcycle instead. So we're just going to ride around the back part on the motorcycle and go check this part out. And that's pretty much everything. There's really nothing else. I mean, from my exploring of Ludendorff earlier, yeah, this is pretty much it. I mean, there's buildings, and then you're going to start to see a lot of copy pasting. But this will take you around the invisible wall to the other side. So I think we can go this way. So you can see some unfinished buildings. Then Ludendorff hardware. I think this puts us on the other side. Yeah, so now we can go this way. But you'll quickly notice the copy pasting effect. Another like Ludendorff pawn, another Ludendorff locksmith building. But it's been kind of flipped. But yeah, it's copy pasta time over here with the buildings. Yeah, doesn't look very impressive, does it? But still, it's kind of cool to do this. I always like to try and peek behind the kitchen and go look at things behind the scenes. And so there's a something right there, and you'll see the couple banner hotels buildings, like 2 of them back here as well. So they were copy pasted as well for low res reasons. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't think you can go see the alien in the river. I don't think you can get to that in this version of North Yankton, and obviously you can't go to Bobcat Security. And at this rate, I seriously doubt, from exploring this very limited version of North Yankton's Ludendorff, that we're ever going to get an expansion of GT Online. I hope I'm wrong. But this is taking up resources in a decade-old game just to have us able to play the Ludendorff Cemetery Survival. And that's why they had to cut down the North Yankton map even further than the prologue, because the prologue version is unfinished as well. And there was a time you could actually explore the map of North Yankton back on the 360 and PS3, but Rockstar quickly patched that. So I think the only way you can actually do it now is on PC through mods in the story mode or 5M. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything when it comes to North Yankton. It's cool to drive around here and explore what little bit we can explore in Ludendorff, North Yankton. And I like doing stuff like this. For example, I did a lot of outside the map exploring in Red Dead Online. But eventually you get tired of that as well. But there's a lot more to explore outside the map of Red Dead Online than when it comes to this version of the Ludendorff, North Yankton map. So yeah, once again, if you try to go down Main Street, there is a wall. Yeah, so you're not going to be able to go that way, in case y'all were wondering. Yeah, you can go through. You can go one way through the wall, like we did a moment ago, but you can't go back the other way. It's one way. But yeah, I mean, we got to see the empty grave. We got to see the farm where the standoff happens, the Beaver, and some copy pasta, and how far the rail line runs from both directions. And one more thing, as Classic mentioned, while you're on this map, you do see the Ludendorff map, and this is the original version of the Ludendorff map, but there's clearly things that you can no longer go to. I think the alien is somewhere in this river, and originally you were able to actually go down and find the alien, but you can't do that anymore. You can't really deviate too much when you go back to play the prologue or bury the hatchet. The game will punish you for trying, which I think sucks. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So there you go. That is the North Yankton map. Well, what little bit we can explore of it in 2024, specifically on PS5. Thanks again to Classic for showing us this and making that playlist for myself and others to check out for, once again, a very limited amount of time, most likely, until Rockstar either quote-unquote patches this or disables his gateway playlist, or whenever they finally remove the Ludendorff survival from the game and bring back all the other survivals, then chances are, once again, Ludendorff, North Yankton will be locked off. But for a limited time during the Halloween season, there's at least a way to explore Ludendorff. Well, this version of Ludendorff, North Yankton. Thoughts, views, opinions, welcome, as always, below in the comments section.